It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today I want to talk to you about the research lab, the gnome lab, and all the upgrades you can get and go through. Now, to unlock this, you must have at least a castle level 7, and to get further down the tree path, you have to upgrade your castle even further. I know for some of you, you might debate whether upgrading the castle is something you want to do, or if it's something you want to wait on. And I understand that, so let me just at least explain what the benefits are if you do go down the road of upgrading. Now, in the kingdom section, there are many different tabs. Most are resource focused. There are some that are not. Well, I guess you could consider these resources, but they're mainly focused on your storage, your production, your coins, and your train and tree trading. But if you go further down, they do have the fountain, the research efficiency, and the cookie house production. So you can consider the jellies as a resource, so that's up to you how you determine that, but that is the kingdom tab, and I'll go further into that in a moment. The cookie tab is more focused on, as it states, the cookies, but there are a couple, I guess, resources or kingdom resources that are specific to the cookies, so I figure I should cover that at least too. Now, maybe you're in an early point of the game and you're deciding, what should I start with? What should I really start looking into? My first recommendations are to get the first upgrades that they offer. So the sugar gnome craftsmanship, the construction speed, it helps, especially if you have a lot of buildings still to build. So this is something that is worth upgrading. As far as upgrading to the max 10%, you can do that to make things go a little bit quicker, but it's not going to make a massive difference in building production, as most buildings take a while anyway, once you're in the higher point of the buildings, that is, or even like upgrading them, but it's still a good thing to get up there. The lumberjack lodge and the jelly bean ones, the only reason I've only taken them to level 5 is because a 5% production has been pretty handy. Getting it all the way to 10% would definitely be helpful for the larger stacks, and it's something I'll look into, but the resources it takes to get to that point can be a little bit constraining, and as you can see, even upgrading to level 6 would take nearly half a day, and so because of that, I just haven't pushed that any further at the moment. I 100% recommend the Easy Goods Collection, as this makes the game quality of life easier. Instead of having to go through and collect everything, this is just one click, and it's very nice for that reason. Some of these other ones, as you can see, like I said, level 5, it's about the points where I've stopped. Certain ones like the bread, I could take a little higher, but the resources I don't find myself using often, I don't upgrade as far. I should be upgrading this one soon because I'm starting to get a little stretched thin on these, but you have to kind of gauge what resources you're really going through the most to understand what you should be upgrading, as it takes time and resources to get these upgraded. My personal favorite are these ones, just because, as you can see, I have all regular materials production just upgraded, so all of them are getting benefits instead of just singular ones. I maxed this one because those high level resources, they take a while. They really do take a while, and this being maxed makes it so that most of them I can get within a day. Like 1 to 2 of them, depends on how high it is, and that's been really helpful for that reason. With balloon expeditions, you're going to see a lot of return on that, because this is where you can get gold, this is where you can get time jumpers, this is where you can get medium toppings and topping pieces. This one's going to be beneficial. Balloons take quite a long time, and so if you can get this upgraded, you're going to see a lot of help from it. The storage stacks, let me show you why this has been helpful. So I think I've only bought storage maybe 5 times in total with my gems in the earlier parts of the game before the research lab was even a thing. But now I have stacks that can go all the way up to 18 for the stacks, and stack increased, like how many stacks I can have, by 10 total. So if we go to my storage real quick to show you, we have 165 as the storage size. Now that's not huge, but it's much more helpful than in comparison to only having like 80, 90. And as you can see, to get storage now, like just to buy it, I'd have to spend 5,000 coin or gems, and I don't find that worth it right now because I can much easier upgrade the storage stack size. Now something I should upgrade, and it's worth getting upgrade, is the fountain. The reason being is that the fountain itself, it can give you quite an abundance of resources. As you can see, it says question mark up here, times 1 over every 4 minutes. So I've got 3 milks, 2 jelly beans, 2 flour, 3 stone, 1 stamina jelly. It's a quite good variety of what you can get, and sometimes it's gems, as you can see. So in technical terms, you can think of the fountain as gem farmer. It's something I want to upgrade more, but because it is such a good upgrade, you can see, even though I did upgrade it once, I've only got it at level 1 out of 5 levels, and it's that much resources. So it's not a cheap upgrade, but as you can see, it will be beneficial, and it's something I want to push into more. Now you're probably at this point thinking, well, why do you have so many kingdom upgrades that haven't been upgraded much further? Well, because of that, most of it's been focused on the cookies. Most of it. I'm just going to go through a couple more kingdom ones, and then I'll move to the cookie ones, though. And I apologize on this. This was not the entire fountain. This was just star jellies, because I noticed here faster production was up here. Faster production is a better upgrade than specifically star jellies. That way everything gets produced faster. The last one, I think that's good to cover. I'll say the last 2, actually. The last 2 is cookie house production. A lot of people, they get a little bit upset when a new cookie comes out and they can't upgrade it very quickly to keep up with the meta. And they're very upset that, they've been playing, they've been grinding, and they just don't have many EXP jellies to upgrade their cookies. Well, with these house productions faster, it's kind of a catch. You have to be in the game more for it to work, but you will produce the materials faster. So that way, if you want to upgrade things, if you want to get more star jellies, this is a very good way to do it. I want to upgrade this more, but yet again, I've been very focused on cookies. The highest level you can get it to, 15% production speed boost. I have it at 5%, so it can still triple, which that's really nice. It goes slow at the beginning, and then it starts to kick up by 2% after level 6. So that's very nice. So that's one I definitely recommend. And then last but not least, research efficiency. Getting the research itself done faster is important, because unless you're specifically saving all of your speed boosts for the research lab, which is something I do recommend saving them for, then you're going to have some long research points, and you know, that does give you time to collect materials to do the next research, but at the same time, if you're trying to upgrade things, it's going to take you some time. So you can see that I have 8 out of 10 on research efficiency there and 5 out of 10 over here. So about a 13% boost. And doing things like this will take 8 hours, where if I didn't have that boost, it'd probably take about 11 to 12 hours. Now the cookies one, there's a lot of good ones to talk about here. Taste your star jellies. They just give a bigger EXP boost. So 100% max that out. No question. That should be maxed out without any question. Story mode mastery. This lowers the count needed for story mode. I believe the next one is the same for dark. Yeah, that one's for dark mode. Both of those are super essential. You have to do the dark mode to even keep moving on in the upgrades, but why that's important is that, you know, let's say the round was 14 jellies in story mode or 15 jellies in dark mode. You essentially get a net 1 jelly for each stage you would have done with the old setup. And because of that, you can get more stages done. You can grind more topping pieces. You can grind more soul stones. You can grind many more things. And so that's important. And trust me, it will be helpful. Now, for the cookie upgrades, my biggest recommendation, for the sake of getting things upgraded to be comparable in arena battles, PvP, player versus environment, alliance, guild raid, all of them, get everything you can in the cookie section at least to level 5 as soon as you can, because once you hit the level 6 and on, 13 hours for this, big resources. 8 hours for this, still pretty expensive resources. And then if you get to the really high ones like this one, I mean, that's a lot of resources, and that's 5 days. 5 days, and that gives a 0.01 HP upgrade to every cookie. It's good, it's helpful, I'm not saying it isn't, but you're taking 2 sugar gnomes to do it, as you can see, blank out of 2, and then that time and the materials. And so getting to those higher level upgrades is going to take some time. It will have its benefits, 100%. The arena ticket recharge rate and the ticket max, 100% up. Recommend doing those as well. Those are going to be allowing you to do more arena battles quicker and have the option to do more overall if they go to recharge and you're just busy that day and not able to get in the game right away. The toppings cheaper upgrade, I did 3 upgrades into this after doing the initial 2 because they were cheap and fast. I did 3 more upgrades into this, just thinking that they were making the topping piece amount less. I did not realize it was only affecting the coins, and that was just poor reading on my part. I thought it was an actual discount on the topping pieces needed. So this one is okay if you're about to blast through a bunch of topping piece upgrades, but if you're not doing that or not doing it often, you're not going to see a huge value in this. So I have a cost reduction of 5% gold. It will stack up. It's not useless, but I wouldn't focus on it at level 5 if you can just get it unlocked to move to the next tree, because there's more important things. Because this first tab, this is HP bonus for cookies. Getting over to here, you can start to get a defense bonus. Defense bonus is going to be pretty important for the fact that you're going to have more defensive power in the arena, and it's not as comparable, you know, stat for stat to damage resist, but it's still important. It's still definitely important. And so the higher you can make a cookies based defense, the better, 100%. So as you can see in this one, I did not do the all cookies defense buff as high as the HP because it's only like marginal upgrades for doing it. It's still good, but it's so time consuming and resource consuming. Searing keys is a huge one I recommend because if you want to get more of that Tower of Chaos done and get more of those upgrades, more of the grinding for the resources in there, it's a good thing to do. There's not much more to go into that. Dark Mode Mastery 2, you have to do this to progress further, so it'd be silly to not do this one, but that's up to you. Up here, as you can see, I'm getting the attack bonus to level 5 for all the different cookies, and that means just more power, more DPS, more capabilities. I would recommend, even though it's expensive, getting this one to 10 out of 10 because a 2% buff to all cookies attack bonus in addition to whatever you get for their single ones, it's going to really give you an edge. Because the attack is what healers focus on, attack is what damage focuses on. So if you can get, let's say, the max 2% here and 3% in the healing side, you have a 5% healing buff just off the bat right there for 10 out of 10 on both of those. So that's good. Definitely recommend that. Extra topping presets. Definitely want to get that. If you get that, it gives you the option to be more flexible with your cookies in different builds. I don't think that there is a one-size-fits-all topping build for each cookie that works for every single mode. And I'll cover that more in the future, but I think that it's better to have the flexibility to do different ones. And yet again, maxing out this just gives you more arena tickets. So instead of 8, you can get up to 12. 12 is pretty good because that's almost a third more. Actually, no, that is a third more. So that's awesome. Then you get up to here. This is HP bonus 2, defense bonus 2, attack bonus 2. Notice how they don't give you an all cookie one at this point because now you're really just fine tuning and the resources are more expensive up here in what you do and how you do it. And still that same 3% boost, but now, if for instance you get the healing one up, now you've gone to an 8% boost of HP just for the healing cookies, or whatever cookie you decide to research further in. Stamina jelly max number, that's up to you. I really would gauge this on how often you're in the game. If you're not going to be often in the game, then maybe you want to pump this up. If you don't use your stamina jellies often, maybe you don't want to invest this much at all. At least do it one level so that you can keep going further in. That second extra topping preset, I really only recommend that actually if you are really min-maxing all of your toppings and you need quite a lot of flexibility. Other than that, it's not necessarily needed right away. Defense bonus 2, same as defense bonus, no point to not have it. This one's a big one. Critical damage bonus. When you deal a critical hit, it does a certain amount to start. When you upgrade critical damage increase, you're actually percentage increasing the amount of damage that it does overall. And so as you can see, I have it at 16% because it goes up by 10% just to getting at level 1. 10% just for level 1. If nothing else, get it to level 1 for that 10% boost. At maximum, it's going to be 20%. And this is not your critical chance of hitting a critical hit. This is the actual damage itself. So that's important. And I really, really recommend that one. Then if you do get through, you can get up to the arena recharge rate. And you can get up to a 15% recharge rate at level 10. I'm going to upgrade this more. I've just been more focused on cookies. But, just faster chances of battles, once again. Attack bonus 2, nothing much different there. Other than, more fine-tuned, more expensive resources. And then last but not least, the alliance stuff. This is only something I recommend if you feel you want to push just a few waves further when I did these upgrades. So I got one more max ticket, and I got each of these to level 2. This only specifically affects the Alliance mode, and so because of that, it's a catered resource upgrade, and it does marginal differences. I think it made like maybe a 1 to 2 wave difference for me. If that's a big amount for you, great, do it. If that's not, well, judge if that's worth the resources, because if you see a level 3, it's only saws, so it's not the expensive resources up here, but just understand, is it worth your time? Can you spare that time for right now, or do you need to upgrade something else first? Let me know your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think, which specific resource you think needs to get upgraded first in the tree, other than what has to be progressed in the lines. Anything that you think is something you should just stay away from all the way, because it's just a resource drain and it doesn't do enough for you to really see a difference in the game. Any comments like this, I would love to see it and I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for stopping by, and you guys have a wonderful day.